George doesn't believe that she loves him because at this point, she is turning her back at him. Oh my God. This is episode 54 of Another Was Mistaken Marriage and the Danger Signs We Ignore. Guys, go ahead and give a like to this video and let's get right into it. Look at George's face as Angel, who professed her love to couldn't believe what she said because, as far as he's concerned, she's been materialistic. She's thinking about keeping the house because she wants the money for herself. Do you think that's it? Let's keep on going. She enters into the house and walks and struts and sits down like someone who's annoyed. And the mother asked, what exactly did he tell you? And she said, can you just believe what George is saying? He's saying that I should take all of you out of this house, that all of you need not be here, and that we should not be here, that she doesn't know why he's talking like that. As far as she's concerned, he's being insensitive. Was he there when she was going through all the pain? Was he there when she was almost being strangled and killed? Was she there when Kizito almost drowned her? He wasn't there. Right now, she's not interested in listening to anybody's statement. But the mother said, but listen, he might have some sense to say, because right now, nobody's going to believe and listen and understand what's going on here. Everything looks complicated. She said she doesn't care. She doesn't care. As far as she's concerned, she's going to live by her own rules. Nobody dictating to her, because right now she's seeing that it looks like Mr. George is becoming a dictator in the making, and she doesn't want anybody to hold her down. The mother is still trying to understand every single thing said, but she said at this point, she's not going to live by anybody's rules. She's going to live by her own rules. She's going to dictate what happens. She doesn't care whatever anybody should open their gutter mouth and say. As far as she's concerned, she is not listening to him. The mother was like, oh, yes, I understand how you feel, but why don't you see it from his own perspective? Why don't you see it from other people's perspective? Why don't you see that this thing we're doing seems irrational? Why would people, your family, come and live with you in your own matrimonial home? Because of what? So that they can help you acquire that which is yours? No, you need to realize that people may not understand what is going on. She said, well, as far as she's concerned, she understands what she's doing and she's not going to listen to anybody. Nobody was there when she was going through her struggles. Right now, she's going to dictate what happens to her. She got up and went upstairs and the mother was watching her. He went. Now we're seeing Jeff and George having a discussion because Jeff was like, what? You went ahead to tell Angel that? Why? That seems quite insensitive. Why would you tell her to leave the house? Why would you tell her to take every one of us and leave the house? Don't you get it? That's the only thing she has been able to get out of this marriage. And that's why we are there to support her. Do you think we are homeless? He said, look, it's not about that. Are you here to try and lecture me about life? He now said, look, life is not just about the fact that you've been well-traveled, you have money and connections. Life is also about what is realistic. He doesn't know. So what are you now trying to say? What are you now trying to say? That you think Angel has a right to still stay there with you guys? He said, yes. As far as it's concerned, they are not homeless. They are there to support her. That's what she wants at this time. So we all need to put hands on deck to make sure that she's supported. Right now, the only thing she has to her name is that house, right? So if that's what she wants, why don't you just allow us support her rather than you trying like look back and say, no, she needs to go. If you truly love her, if you really, really love her, you will go through this process together with her. He now looked at him and said, look, what's this thing you call process? What's this thing you call process? Are you really serious that you want to actually mourn Kizito? He now said, well, whatever you say, Kizito was still her husband. And so they still have to do what is requisite, even though he didn't even deserve anything about love or care or affection. But as long as he was still Angel's husband, he needs to still be given that last respect. And the guy now said, what? He couldn't even believe what Jeff was saying. As far as he was hearing all of this thing, it sounded like balderdash. And then he walked off and went away. And of course, Jeff could not believe that George would be so egocentric and so self-centered, because right now everybody's seeing that George is looking selfish. But can we just turn the table a little while? This guy has been there. He went through all the ups and downs for Angel. Yes, I know he stayed and he wasted time and he couldn't come back in time before Angel got married. But what about all that he has done while in this process? And now he wants to get his pay time and nobody wants him to get it? Come on, what do you think? He has to be somewhat selfish. There's nothing we can do about that. But Mr. Jeff couldn't really relate with that. Now we see some clandestine moves of the mother, Mama Kizito, calling Bolaji behind everybody's back, meeting inside the car. Can you see how sneaky she is? She can't even have a meeting with him in his house. She can't even have a meeting with him someplace else. They met in the car. And she was like, look, Kizito is not that kind of piece of meat that can be forgotten. He's not a small piece of meat. He is a big piece of meat, and they need to realize that he's not someone that will just disappear from the earth like that. His body is still in the mortuary, and people are going on with their lives as if nothing happened. And she's like, no, this shouldn't be. I'm like, what is this? You're having the aches and pains. Nobody's thinking about Kizito. You are kidding. You're the one thinking about your son. Your son doesn't deserve anybody's empathy or anybody's sympathy. No, he beast that turned himself into a beast, and he has built the household of beasts. Can you just imagine that? Then she knows that she doesn't know what to do. He knows that, you see, that's how it is. That's how it is. People forget. It's just a minute of silence and that's it. So he now said, look, you need to find something big to do. She's like, what's she going to do? She doesn't know what to do. She has no idea what to do. He doesn't. You have to let people know that she killed her husband. That's what you got to let them do. You must let people know all over the world that she killed Kizito. Disgrace her, drag her in the mud, mutilate her reputation, let her know that she cannot run away. Can you see what this Mr. Balaji is doing again? The work he was doing to Kizito, he's doing it again for the mother. Oh my God, you're being of service to the son. Now you're being of service to the mother. Clap for yourself, Mr. Balaji. Can you just imagine that? See what he's telling. And she now got a light bulb moment and said, yes, she knows exactly what to do. Leave it to her. Now, can you just imagine? Madam Angel is relaxing, resting, like, oh, all her cares and worries are over, sitting down comfortably in her couch. And as she was sitting down, looking at the phone, enjoying her life because her persecutor is dead and gone, she now something caught her attention. The TV caught her attention. Oh my God, what's going on? She now saw Kizito's mama on the TV screen. What's she doing there? She's granting an interview. She is granted an interview, talking with the lady, telling them about her son, how he was a good man, how he loved his wife, but his wife, the one who was bad, going around, slipping around, and they kept it on the wraps. Can you just imagine how she's turning the table against Angel? Look at Angel. Angel was like, what? How can this woman go and begin to blaspheme against her? She even said that she killed her husband. And she was like, what? And she's carrying the baby that they're not even sure it belongs to Kizito. Then what? Oh, does that mean that the baby is not even Kizito's own? She said, well, she doesn't want to go and begin to defame her character or change any kind of things against her. She just doesn't know. She's saying, well, she's stuck with her as her mother-in-law. But right now, she's hoping she will just keep quiet and stay at home and take care of the baby rather than going around and having fun with different men. As she was watching, that was how Madam Oma came down the stairs listening. And then she said, oh, but what they don't understand is how come he died at the clinic, and what were they doing there? You see, can you see the loophole? Can you see the loophole? You know, so the mother had to find a different kind of lie to say, well, what happened was that they went out, and then along the line, the Angel complained that there was something wrong. She was feeling pain. They went to the clinic. Oh my God, what a big lie. What a big lie. Is that what she's going to tell them in court? Is that what she's cooking up to tell them in court? Who's going to listen to that rubbish? Nonsense. And then maybe there was where they put everything together, and then before we know it, she stabbed him. What? I mean, tell that to the dogs. Tell that to the dogs. The mother came listening to that and was feeling so pained that why Madam Uchechi do this? Can you even see that even Angel is already crying? She's already crying because look at how they have painted her. She now said, is this the kind of brand ambassadors we are raising for our young children to follow as example? Can you just imagine what she has done in this interview, trying to bring Angel down? This is bad. This is terrible. This is terrible, meaningless. And the lady was gulping everything down. Everybody listened all over the place. Even Oma was like, what is all of this? They couldn't believe that this woman will go and defame Angel on TV. Can you just imagine their faces? Can you just imagine how they felt? She was just going there and crying on the screen as if truly Angel is the one to blame. She said, look now, they now have a murderer let loose all over the place that they need to get her. And I said, oh, but she's still your daughter. And I said, yes, she's stuck with her forever and ever. Oh my God. What nonsense is this? What nonsense? How could she say this? She couldn't stand it anymore. She had to turn off the TV. That's what she had to do. Because at this point, it's like, it's obvious. She actually is out to demean, to defame Angel, to make sure that nobody ever believes that she is on the right side. Now, Mama Kizito comes in, and Angel heard her coming in. She was like, what is all that nonsense? What is all that thing you're showing on TV? Then she said, oh, what's that? She said, you're going around granting interviews. Your son is not yet buried. You're granting interviews. What's all that nonsense? She now said, oh, come on. Is it that I'm granting interviews that's paining you, or that the whole world now knows that you are a murderer? Which one is it? Angel and I said, well, you can go and scream all over the place. Tell them whatever you can. I don't give a hoot. As far as I'm concerned, your son is dead. Your son is dead. She has a life now, and she's not going to allow anybody to take that freedom from her. She said, oh, interesting. Have you forgotten? Let me remind you that the only reason why you are here walking around freely is because of that child in your womb. She said, oh, so because of that, you want to take the baby after? No way. I know your plan. The white kid's mom said, what are you saying? What are you saying? That child is the only reason why you're still here walking around. If not, you would have been behind bars. I'm like, oh, come on, tell that to the goats. Tell that to the goats. She said, look, you better know, I'm not going to allow you to take that child from me. She said, no, I'm not going to allow you to come close to me. Can you just imagine that now? The real battle has started because Kizito's mother is only allowing Angel arrange while she gives birth to the baby, and after she'll take the baby. But Angel is like, no way, you can never get close. This baby is her baby, and she's not going to give it to her. Never. She doesn't, but what? You killed your husband and you now want to raise a child? No way. This child is going to become a beast just like her mother. She now said, oh, yes, coming from the mother who raised a beast. Didn't you raise Mr. Kizito as a beast? Is he not a beast? Are you not the one that created the beast? So that means you're allowing me to take over from you? Never. You will never be able to come. And for your information, I will keep on reminding you that Kizito is dead. Kizito is dead. And as far as she's concerned, no matter what you do, you cannot take away the life and the light I have right now. She said, look, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, my light is going to blind your eyes, because as far as I'm concerned, you will not have anything to do with the baby. She now looked at her with indignation and went off. Of course, Angel too was totally indignated at what nonsense. Of course, we will see this in episode 55. What's going to begin to unveil. Don't forget, we have a court case pending, which is going to happen in episode 55. You just look out for that. Now we see Kelly. Kelly called on to Benita, asking her to come around because there is fire on the mountain. What is going on? She said, look, there's a problem. There's a problem. What's the problem? Okay. Every single deal they have right now, people are like canceling all the deals. Why? Because of the accusation, the murder accusation on her. The ones they're currently working with have canceled. The ones that they're planning for have canceled. Right now, no deals. What's going to happen? I said, wow, this shouldn't happen. Angel should be getting ready to at least get back to her life. But this is really terrible. He now says he doesn't even know what to do. He doesn't know when to tell her because this is going to be bad news. She said, but she has to know what's going on. She must know. He now said, but right now she just needs to hear about good news. Good news. He said, no, you got to tell her. She needs to know the state of things. You need to let her know. She will be able to take it. He said, okay, so when should he tell her? He said, look, you're the manager. You go think about that. It's now become like a table tennis that they're punching between each other. I hope that Angel will be able to take this news. It's really terrible. Now we see the mother eating. Mother is enjoying herself, having fun. And then Mama Kizito comes down the staircase, seeing her eating and looking at her with disgust that, oh, what a shame. Shamelessness all over her. She's wreaking shamelessness. Now, can you just imagine that? You're here eating when you should be mourning along with your daughter. You should be clad in black with all the other elderly women, sitting with them and, worrying that your daughter has become a widow so soon. She now said, oh, Chechi, let me tell you, you are going to choke on all of those bad thoughts in your mind that after you have choked first. He said, can you just imagine? You're supposed to be with the other elderly women at your age. You're here stuffing yourself with food. What nonsense. You can't even mourn with your daughter. Wow. What nonsense is this? She now said, nothing. Let me tell you the truth, Ochechi. You gotta realize that they will not mourn stupid human beings like your Kizito. They're not gonna sit down and begin to fake it to make it. That you better know that your son deserved every single thing he got, and he's not worth being mourned. In fact, what they should be doing is that they should be calling a feast to celebrate that Kizito is gone. That's what they need to do. Call people together, give them good food to eat, and then at the end, they tell you thank you for allowing such a toxic person to go. That's it. That's what they should be doing, not sitting down and mourning someone who never deserved to be mourned. Let me tell you, you are the one that can mourn your son. Everybody else is happy that Kizito is gone. She now said, would you do this if it was your son that died? She said, God forbid. Of course, she would never, ever expect that. Look at it. This lady, Madam Uchechi, Kizito's mother, is expecting that Angel's mother would mourn? Never. They're happy. They're celebrating. They're jubilating. What do you think should be the case? Anyways, this is what has happened in episode 54, and we're looking out for what will happen in episode 55. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.